Yo, what is going on, Comfy Gang? It's your motherfucking boy, Comfy NEET, back at it again, back from the dead. Make its fucking comeback season, know what I'm saying? Back to make YouTube great again and, revive the NEETuber movement. Not that that was ever actually a thing. And basically, yeah, just save YouTube from all the generic ass shit creators like I don't know, man, like fucking PewDiePie and Mr. Beast. I'm kidding, obviously, like as if my content hasn't been complete garbage this entire time. But anyways, yeah, we're so fucking back. NEET gang represent, NEET gang for life. Whoo, we're so fucking back. Let's fucking go. Woohoo, let's fucking go. All right, guys, that was really fucking cringe. I'm sorry about that. That's enough cringe for one day and I guess for this video. So yeah, let's just get to the main point of the video now. All right, guys. So first of all, just let me address the elephant in the room, and that's the fact that yeah, I'm basically like 2 shots in and like a couple of shots of like cheap wine, just because like I basically tried recording this video like over 6 times, and every single time it's basically ended in like fucking disaster. So yeah, just trust me, guys, like this is not me on my fucking only use me blade or Cobra JFS arc, but yeah, it's just a little something to get the ball rolling basically. So yeah, just trust and believe, guys. I'm definitely not an alcoholic. Like, yeah, that's probably not very convincing, but yeah, this is just like a one-time thing. Anyways, I guess this video is going to be like the first part in a 3-part documentary series where I basically go into extremely graphic detail about how I ended up getting a job. And for those of you out of the loop, you guys are probably like, what the fuck? Like, wasn't your last video like a 30-minute fucking rant, tirade about how you fucking hate society, how you hate normies, how you don't want to ever work a job for the rest of your life? And all of that is extremely real and true. But for, I guess, a lot of reasons, which I'm going to get into this video, I ended up getting a job. So yeah, this is just going to be me going into the specific details and motivations as to why I decided to betray my NEET sensibilities, my based NEET status, and become a wage cuck, for lack of a better word. I'm sorry if that's derogatory, but yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like there's probably not a better descriptive label of working a job. Well, there probably is, but you know, I'm just talking shit at this point, so just don't mind me. I'm pretty fucking hammered. Anyways, yeah, so I guess this story basically begins last year, January, so like approximately a year ago, and I was on vacation with my family and most of like the extended family on my mom's side in Cuba, because I guess, you know, they like to plan family vacation and stuff, and I went along. So yeah, one day I was on the beach or at a restaurant. I can't really remember which exactly. I think it was on the beach, to be honest. And my cousin, who has, I guess, floated this idea several times in the past, basically offered me a job at her shop. And for some context, pretty much all my family at this point knew that I was a rot-maxed hickey NEET. They might have not known it in those exact terms, but given the fact that they're basically the most turbo giga normies to ever exist, which is fair. But yeah, I guess because every time I'm at a family gathering and they ask me what I'm up to, what I'm doing, I always give the same default answer of oh, you know, same old, or you know, I'm just chilling, same old, just same as usual. You know, I'm being chilling. I'm being chilling. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Anyways, because of that, they basically at this point knew that I was on my welcome to the NHK Sato fucking Sigma NEET grind set. So because of this, I feel like my cousin has been floating this idea for a while. She's a lot older than me, by the way, and she like owns her own business. So yeah, she's been floating this idea for like a while. And yeah, probably out of either pity for me or my parents, or wanting to genuinely help me out, yeah, she basically offered me a job, and she laid out the details for me, and she told me that, yeah, so basically, yeah, like, are you still interested in working for me at my food shop? Yeah, I'm not going to get into specifics as to what type of shop this is for doxing reasons, but yeah, she basically told me that I would be working in a kitchen for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. But it would be good because I would be working with other family members, specifically my second cousin slash niece. I know she's probably considered my niece in Asia, but for whatever reason, she's considered my second cousin here in North America. So yeah, anyways, yeah, it would be good because I'd be working with family. And she also mentioned that she would be paying me like quote unquote last time. And for some context, I did work for her one weekend way back when I was still in uni, when I still wasn't a college dropout, and she paid me like $20 an hour at this point in time. So I asked her if that was what she paid me, and she was like, yeah, totally. And yeah, I was like, oh fuck, okay. So first job, it might be a quote unquote burger flipping job, but I get to earn $20 an hour. That's pretty good. Okay, I could fuck with that. And not only that, she then goes in detail about how she recently bought this building nearby the shop because she wants to open like I guess like a sort of like a food processing place where she would turn like the initial area into like basically like a service area where she just serves food and everything, and then this other area would be like the kitchen. And not only that, but upstairs would be somewhere where I could rent. And because she owns a place, that I would quite possibly be paying $700 to $800 a month. And for those of you who, I guess, are neat and aren't aware of like the real estate market, like this is actually like extremely fucking good for like real estate prices, especially in the city, or I guess even country that I currently inhabit, which you guys probably already know, but I'm not going to spell it out. And yeah, it's like, so hearing this, I was like, I did the mental arithmetic in my head. And I was like, okay, $20 a month. That's like a month. That's like 2,400, and I'm only paying $800 a month. So you're telling me that I get to basically have 1,600 left over, maybe after a bit of tax, like 1,500. And then, food, I could probably scrimp on that. So you're saying that I could work and basically save at least like a couple hundred a month. At this point, I'm like, holy shit, like, okay, I fucking see you. I fucking see you. Like, I could definitely fucking do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I was obviously very interested in the offer. I know a lot of people like to think that NEET will will never work a job no matter what. But at this point, I'm thinking like, okay, you know what? It's definitely worth a try. This is like hitting the jackpot as far as like the job market goes, even if it is like a quote unquote McJob. Like, fuck, man, like I gotta save money. Like that's all I really want at this point. Like all of my concerns in my last video about basically not having anything to show for working completely fucking disappear. I gotta save up. I might be able to buy some nice things. I get to live in a pretty nice place. Not only that, but she showed me like pictures of the place like that she owned, and it's pretty solid. Like it might not be like the biggest place, but it's for like a bachelor pad, it's like pretty fucking good. So yeah, of course I was interested, and then she talked to my parents about it, and long story short, yeah, I was totally down. And she's like, oh yeah, like like I've been talking about this with like your other like cousins and everything. Like we'd be so excited to have you move over. So I was like, yo, fuck, okay, I'm down. Anyways, fast forward a month later, we haven't kept in contact in a while because, and at this point I'm thinking like, this is probably too good to be true. Like she has basically floated this idea by me and like my family for like a couple of times already, and she is known in my family as the type of person who has a lot of big ideas, which is not a bad thing. A lot of big ideas, but oftentimes they don't necessarily follow through. So at this point, I'm thinking like, okay, like, it is what it is. Like, I'm okay with being a NEET. But then something fucked up happens, which probably will sound pretty unrelated, but I promise you sort of relates to the story eventually. And that is that I fuck up my lower back. I'm not exactly sure how it happened. It could have been from like the hours of shit posture that I have, because at one point I was playing video games and I just felt my fucking lower lumbar spine fucking just give in and had like a really like sharp jerking pain. And then for like a week straight, I just had this really uncomfortable tightness and like instability in my lower back that almost didn't really go away for like months. And also I started developing sciatica, like nerve pains shooting down my leg. And whenever I'd lie down, I'd feel like this like burning sensation in my feet, and it made it really hard for me to sleep. So yeah, like I was basically recovering from a wrist injury at this point, not from jacking off, but from like, like the kickboxing thing, which I talked about in another video. So, it was like back-to-back injuries. I was not down to get fucking injured again. So obviously I was quite miserable, and, definitely not having the time of my life. It definitely was not very cash money. And I was pretty miserable for a while. And then a month later, I get a call from my cousin, and she again calls me and asks me if I'm interested in the job. And I'm like, I don't know, because I'm injured, but at the same time, anyways, yeah, she sort of rehashes all the previous details, and then kind of tells me that she really wants to have family around because, yeah, first of all, like she sees me like a younger brother, which is, sweet. And I definitely feel like that's true in some ways. Like, yeah, like and not only that, but she sort of had like I guess she goes into detail about how some of her former employees, I guess, at the time who were employees were, kind of fucking her over, and she's having trust issues because, 2023, COVID, everything, just job market, probably the city that she lives in, that I live in, like, fuck, am I doxing myself? Anyways, yeah, one of her employees was just fucking taking like 15-minute bathroom breaks every 30 minutes, going on her phone. Like apparently like they could hear her like using fucking TikTok in the bathroom. And not only that, but she like started shit like drama with my like other like my second cousin / niece. And she was like, I don't want to get into too much detail because it's kind of like fucked up, like the stuff that she was saying. But yeah, just starting drama, trying to make like pointless fucking like histrionic like fucking drama. And the other one was working at like another satellite location, and she more or less was like clocking off like early, closing the shop early when she should have been manning it, and quite possibly like stealing money from the fucking like I guess like the float, or like the, what do you call it, like the cash register, because like the security camera would mysteriously turn, and then all of a sudden like she was out of view and the money would disappear, and then it became like a big issue. So at this point she was like, yeah, like I really want you to work there just because like, I know like I can trust you. Like everybody knows that I'm pretty low inhib, so like I'm not prone to criminality. I'm East Asian. That's a fucking joke, guys. I'm not racist, but what the fuck am I saying, man? But yeah, like, yeah, I'm not the type of guy to fucking shoplift Twinkies out of my local 7-Eleven and spray paint fucking dildos on the windows and the fucking like brick walls of my local fucking convenience store. So yeah, she was like, yeah, I'd be really interested in you and working for me, and you're gonna be like family and everything. But she laid like a stipulation. I guess apparently the rent that she offered me went up to $1,500 a month. And at this point I was like, oh, fuck, man, like, okay, that's a pretty big jump from like 800. It's like double the price. But at the same time I'm like, okay, like I might possibly be still down to do it, but I'm not sure. But then, I talked to my parents about it, and they were still like pretty down. Like, they were like, come on, just try it. Like, you might be happy. Like, especially my dad, because, you know, like, given my work history, like, I've pretty much never tried working a job in my entire life. Some of you might find that pathetic. Some of you might find that unfathomably based. But yeah, regardless, my dad, I think he was like, yeah, come on, just try it. Just try it once. Just give it a try. And my mom was sort of along the same boat. She's like, yeah, it's gonna, you know, it might help you, quote unquote, break out of your shell and, you know, achieve like the normie meme of, you know, yeah, like being independent, earning your own money, getting a girlfriend, living in your own place. And I don't know, you know me, I'm pretty jaded. I'm often kind of skeptical. So I was like on the fence about it, but you definitely got the energy that from them that like, if I didn't go through with this, then like whenever I was like, I'm not so sure, like, I don't know, man, like it doesn't seem right. Like you could definitely feel like some sort of like resistance. It's like, I might be fucking myself over. Like they might just be fucking done with me. So I definitely felt a lot of pressure. I don't think it's fair to say that they forced me, but you know, like over several conversations with them, it was kind of clear that they were pretty intent on me trying this out. Plus, yeah, like still like on $20 an hour, 1,500 a month wouldn't be the end of the world because, it's still get to save like some money and, if not save money, then live pretty comfortably. And yeah, so anyways, fast forward, she visits my area and we again talk about the topic. I guess previously she sort of set like a final date of when I might move in, and that was May of last year. And, things are getting final. So she basically visits and, goes in detail. And then she basically changes like the conditions again, where now instead of $20 a month, it's minimum wage. Again, I'm not going to say specifically what amount of money, but because for doxing reasons, like it varies from province to province. And I don't know if I want to give that information. I mean, some of you guys already know what province I live in, but yeah, so now it's minimum wage. So at this point, some of you guys are probably thinking, yo, like no fucking way you took this job, especially given all the things you've said about, normies and society and wage slaving and how you just don't want to have to fucking put on a mask all the time and fit in and everything, how you're comfortable being a NEET. And all that is true. But, given the pressure, like that was facing my parents, like even then, like I talked to them about it, like they still sounded really on board with it, like enthusiastic about it. And, not only that, but, you know me, like I'm comfy NEET the scientist. I might have like really strong beliefs about things, but part of me at the back of my mind kind of wanted to find out for myself whether all my beliefs about working a job and everything were right or wrong. Part of me, the back of my mind is thinking, maybe if I go through this, maybe like all this shit that I've been saying, I might realize for a fact is completely wrong. Like maybe I will find a lot of contentment being independent, working for a living wage, quote unquote, which we'll get into later in my future videos. And, maybe I will achieve the normie Canadian dream of, all this shit that you're promised by society. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, not only that, but there's at this exact point in time, there was like a couple of like other NEETubers who I'm not going to name that also kind of just like, I guess quit being NEET and ended up getting jobs or going back to school. And although I wouldn't say I was dissatisfied, as a NEET, like at this point, I was sort of like watching these videos and I was like trying to gaslight myself, trying to bring myself to like an open mind where I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe this wouldn't be such a bad idea. Like maybe my life will change for the better. Maybe like I was wrong this entire time. Maybe I have been like really immature and narrow-minded, short-sighted about this entire like issue. So I was like, at this point in time, even though she changed conditions completely from what they once were, which is, I'm not blaming her, by the way, like 2023, you know how the fucking economy is. Inflation. I'm not gonna get into the politics of it, but yeah, just fucking crazy. Shrinkflation, skimflation, inflation. Yeah, it's just fucked. So I'm like, yeah, I just ended up agreeing to do it. And not only that, but I think a big motivation for me was that, as I mentioned earlier, my back was extremely fucked up. And during this entire time, I was extremely miserable. So I kind of thought to myself that if I'm miserable in my own home, I'm not even comfortable being NEET anymore because I'm injured. I thought to myself, why wouldn't I just get paid? Like if I'm gonna have this fucking gnawing back pain anyways, like I might as well get fucking paid to do it, because it was to the point where like I couldn't even sit down in a chair and play fucking video games because it would just bother me, like either from like the actual physical pain or like the anxiety and the negative emotions from like the pain, or all the complications surrounding. I was basically just spending like most of my hours pacing back and forth in the basement, walking around to keep my back as like upright as possible. So yeah, obviously that's not thriving, that's not living life. So because of that, that was like kind of like the final straw, I guess, that pushed me over onto the side of basically giving this a shot. And yeah, I ended up getting the job. So the too long didn't read the TLDR version of this entire I guess rambling or rant or I guess yap session is that thanks to nepotism, I managed to land my first wage slave job. And it's kind of funny when you think about it, because I feel like the first thing you think about when you think of nepotism, especially given that I'm East Asian, because you guys already know how we fucking East Asians run our fucking nepotism game. You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't you expect me to be like heir to some fucking I don't know, like fucking like Asian tech company slash fleshlight company where I'm immediately airdropped into a CEO, CFO, CTO position, earning those fucking fat ass stacks while kicking my feet over the table and whining and dining execs. Not that I could ever actually do that, by the way, given my extremely fucked up and non-existent social skills. But yeah, like, is that not the first thing you think of nepotism? Or one of those adult daycare jobs would have been nice. Like, that chick who did the TikToks where it's like, 7 a.m. I get to work and I sit in the lounge and avail of my 7 o'clock organic, ethically sourced coconut milk chia seed pudding with organic raspberries, with my complimentary fucking matcha, turmeric, ginger, espresso fucking power shot right before my 8 o'clock Zoom call meeting, and then 9 a.m. Group tantric yoga masturbation session before my 12 o'clock farmers market handcrafted sausage, artisanal sausage lunch slash brunch. Like I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying at this point. Like I'm obviously pretty fucking hammered right now, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Or if not that, then like how about like middle management of like the office, like some sort of like stationary company, or like company where I command like a bunch of code monkeys. Or if not, like even just like lower management at some like random fucking clothing store or something. But no, you know what nepotism gets comfy neat in 2024? Fucking literal burger flipping minimum wage slop Donald's tier job. Obviously, I'm kind of just joking right now. Like I hope the takeaway from this video isn't that I'm ungrateful, because even though like, working a mech job definitely fucking sucks, especially as like a long-term need, and not definitely sucks way more compared to what I was offered initially, which to be fair was probably like over promising, which is I guess I should have expected, to be honest, because, you know, if something sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. At the same time, like, there's no way I would have gotten any other job in any other circumstance, because for those of you who don't already know, my work resume at this point was basically fucking blank. It was literally as empty as the fucking void. Like, the only thing I could put in my work resume was basically that I was a fucking 24-hour at-home security guard. I'm fucking my hero maxed for real. Anyways, yeah, so yeah, just fucking NEET max. Like, I was a professional NEET hikikomori / NEET terminally online internet dweller for like the last like 5 years of my life, ever since I dropped out of fucking university too. So there's that to add on my resume. So obviously, like, only reason why I could have ever gotten this job is through nepotism. So, you know, maybe I did get my just desserts in life, so to speak. To be fair, that's probably it. Plus, I'm like probably pretty low IQ, to be honest. So yeah, you know, it is what it is. And yeah, like, you know, at the time, you know, I was kind of bummed, obviously, because of, you know, how we have like a negativity bias. And when you lose something, it always hurts way more than you gaining a million things. And yeah, but yeah, I guess regardless, I decided to go through with it and get the job. And that is basically the really long, probably kind of boring story of how I ended up working at Slopdonald's. So anyways, next video is probably going to be me talking about what it was like working at this job, what it was like living alone, the emotions, the feelings, the event, any interesting events that happened. Like, I guess what it was like for a chronic hickey NEET to suddenly completely change their entire life and, you know, jump straight into the fucking fire, just hop out of the frying pan into the fire, so to speak, and become a literally full-time wage cuck. And yeah, anyways, I hope you guys found this video interesting. It's very clear that I still haven't lost the ability to yap and basically be as non-concise as possible. But I hope you guys found this somewhat entertaining, given that I'm fairly, I'm not actually that fucked. I'm like definitely pretty buzzed. Anyways, yeah, this is Company signing out, and peace.